Hi, this is Matt, and today we're talking about what's in the Book of Mormon, specifically 1 Nephi chapter 20. We mentioned last time that Nephi is going to begin to quote the words of Isaiah, and that's what he's doing in this chapter, specifically Isaiah chapter 48. And we know that Nephi and his family had the record of the Jews, the books of the Old Testament, all the way down to about the time of Jeremiah. And so he's using these words to teach his posterity, but also to teach us. But in order to understand why Nephi quotes the prophet Isaiah, it's important for us to review the blessing that God gave to Abraham. That's in Genesis chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. In verse 3, the Lord says in part to Abraham, "In thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed." Obviously, that can raise a lot of questions. What does he mean? How is that possible? What's exciting about that is Isaiah understands it, and Isaiah talks a lot about how God is going to bless all the families of the earth and bring to pass that blessing and that prophecy that it gave to Abraham. One of the things I love about the Book of Mormon is how it ties Old and New Testaments together so well. It explains and pulls the prophecies from the Old into the New and helps us understand so much more about, and it really strengthens the Bible, and the Bible strengthens the Book of Mormon. So the chapter 20 begins with a call to attention to the house of Israel, and also a pretty strong rebuke. The Lord says, "Hearken and hear this, O house of Jacob, who are called by the name of Israel, and come forth out of the waters of Judah, or out of the waters of baptism, who swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel, yet they swear not in truth, nor in righteousness. Nevertheless they call themselves of the holy city, but they do not stay themselves upon the God of Israel, who is the Lord of hosts. Yea, the Lord of hosts is his name. Behold, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them. I did show them suddenly, and I did it because I knew that thou art obstinate, and that thy neck is an iron sinew, and thy brow is brass." So the Lord, of course, is rebuking them for not listening, for not staying upon the Lord, as he says. But lovingly the Father is reaching out in the last days. In verse 9 he says, "Nevertheless, for my name's sake will I defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. For behold, I have refined thee, I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For mine own sake, yea, for mine own sake will I do this. For I will not suffer my name to be polluted, and I will not give my glory unto another. Hearken unto me, O Jacob, and Israel my called, for I am he. I am the first, and I am also the last." So the Lord ends this chapter, or we could say Isaiah, but obviously he's quoting the Lord. This chapter ends with the Lord calling upon Israel to distance themselves from wickedness and worldliness, and with the Lord declaring that he has redeemed the house of Jacob. So verse 20, "Go ye forth from Babylon, flee ye from the Chaldeans, with a voice of singing declare ye, tell this, utter to the end of the earth, say ye, the Lord hath redeemed his servant Jacob." So obviously the words of Isaiah can be a little difficult to understand, and we didn't get terribly far into Isaiah. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next couple of chapters as Nephi continues to quote these words. But I want to share some words of Nephi to help us understand a little bit more about Isaiah. So because Isaiah can be a little difficult to understand, Nephi says in verse 25, chapter 25 rather, verse 7, "In the days that the prophecies of Isaiah shall be fulfilled, men shall know of their surety at the times when they shall come to pass." In other words, even though we may not understand them before, as they're happening, we can see it, we will know it, and it will be clear. And so I invite you to look at that, look for evidence of the words of Isaiah happening right now, because they are happening right now. So again, we will look more next time at more of the words of Isaiah, and until then, happy reading.